Hello everybody. Today we are going to be making some vegan baguette, and whenever you're using yeast that's not instant yeast for bread baking, you have to start with the proofing process. So we're going to do that right now. So here I have measured for our recipe 2 1/4 cups of water and adding a tablespoon of sugar. That was turbinado for you vegan folks out there, not the granulated stuff. And then I'm adding a packet of yeast. This is Avtive dry, which needs to be proofed before you bake with it. And I'm just going to give it a stir. So giving it a stir just to incorporate all the yeast and the sugar. And we're going to wait between 5 and 10 minutes so that it has a chance to blossom. Alright, so our yeast is proofed. You see that foam right there? I don't want to disturb it too much, but see how it pulled away from the edge? That is a community of beneficial fungal spores. Yay! Building a little community. So we are now going to incorporate our yeasted water. And so I just, I turn the ingredients together. I've greased my spoon a little bit so I don't get too much of the dough stuck. Although sometimes it does and you just, you pull the dough away. And as soon as it starts to look like, scary and like a swamp creature, I'm adding about half a tablespoon of salt, just enough to enhance the flavor of the flour after it roasts. And I'm going to gather this together. I sanitized my countertop, and I'm just gonna start kneading the dough out onto the counter. Let's go ahead. Alright, so here I used olive oil just because I don't have any plain vegetable in my house. Bad me for being ill prepared. But yay, flavor! So I'm just oiling my bowl. Make sure your hands are clean, obviously. Don't use crazy, scary, just went to the bathroom hands. But yeah, so once all the contact areas, really you don't have to dunk it in oil or anything, but just make sure that all the contact areas where the dough will be touching, because it is going to expand about twice its current size. So let's place our dough in here, and this is going to proof for the next 90 minutes. So in 45 minutes we're going to come back. I'm going to cover this with a cloth, keep it relatively insulated, and just set it aside somewhere where there isn't going to be a lot of temperature fluctuation. That bowl is pretty insulatory, so yep. In 45 minutes I'll bring it back and I'll show you what to do with it then. Alright, so I am turning out my dough and trying to be careful that I don't push out too much of the air. Ha! So it's gained a little bit of size since then, so we're just patting back down, we're going to be more gentle with it now. It's done a little bit of work producing the carbon dioxide for us, so we want to keep that in there. We're just working it through again to disperse the air in case it's pocketed anywhere. You'll feel small bubbles of air being exhausted when you push down on it. Don't worry, that's supposed to happen. There. It's breaking down the layers between the chambers or whatever, just to disperse the air. See, it will still feel much airier than when you put it in. See this? It feels a lot more supple, I should say. So, after I've patted it down a little bit, I'm just going to set it back in for proofing again for another 45 minutes. So that is the sexiness. That is our airy bread starter. So I'm actually going to divide this now. So I think this will make about 4 decent baguettes. Well, there's 1. Twist them off. Oh, it's too much. Maybe this is going to make 5. Ooh. Yep, it looks like we're going to have 5 loaves of bread, folks. Maybe just kind of reallocate as necessary. Okay, that looks about right. Okay. So right now we're just kind of tentatively stretching them out into pseudo loaves. They're not really going to be loaves yet because they need to proof again for another 20 minutes. So it's just kind of fine. So just kind of, and I'm going to have lightly oiled a baking sheet. So I'm going to rest these on here for now, just for this proofing period. So we're going to proof these again, lots of proofing today, for 20 minutes. So we're just kind of let them sit again for another 20 minutes. And when we come back, we're going to punch them down again, fold them, make them into their final shapes, and proof them for another 20 seconds. Or 20 minutes. Alright, so lifting these away. See, you're going to feel that sensation again where it feels like kind of incredibly light. So we're just going to press it, pat it down with our fingertips. We don't want to break up too many of the our air pockets anymore. We're just going to fold, press down, and fold. And I just kind of forming our loaves now. So pinch them down at the seam. I'm gonna roll this, shape at the ends, and we're just gonna do this with all of them. Just kind of, we want it to be smooth. I mean, you know, the seam doesn't matter as much as long as it's only on one side, because it can be baked down on the other side. But this is obviously way too thick to be a baguette. So So we'll do the same thing with each of them, and we'll Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and set these back on my sheet. Woo! Just a pretty flawless one. And contrary to popular opinion, you can, and I have, reshaped these once more before putting them in the oven, so don't worry, this isn't like the last time you can ever touch them. Alright, oh, that one's... Woo! So, in my pan. I'm going to cover them to proof them again. And here is when I'm going to preheat my oven. Sorry, it's messy over here, guys. 340. So 340 degrees. You set it just before the last proofing cycle, which is going to be about 20 minutes. Okay? So that's going, and immediately after we're going to serrate the tops and put them in the oven. Alright. So I have pulled these out from underneath the proofing cover, and I'm just trying to neaten them up a little bit. I mean, good bread. They'll be sexy no matter what you do to them. But so I'm going to make do about 3 or 4 concentric cuts. It's preventing steam. They also look sexy. So. My oven preheated. Here's the magic part. I have a clean spray bottle that I have aligned for this purpose, or assigned to this purpose. Just clean water. Clean water, that's all. Bottled water in this case. So, put these in to my oven on the middle rack, in the very center. And the magic part, spray down the sides of the oven. Couple sprays on the top, couple sprays on the bottom, not directly on the bread. I mean, a little bit gets on there, it's fine. But you just spray the sides down, close the oven, and they're going to be in there for 40 minutes. Alright. And there they are, those crusty loaves. Crusty loaves. Good, pulling them out. Yay! So, let's see the... And the best way to test, just to make sure everything's done, when you tap on the crust, you'll hear a hollow sound. Yep, these bad boys are done. And we'll do one more clip when I show you cutting into them, but we have to let them cool for now. Alright, so here's the moment of truth. We're going to cut into this loaf. It's so crusty. So that is the interior of our lovely baguette. You see that? So nice and delicate bubbling in there. Nice crusty outside. Nice and crispy. Lots of crunch. So that, and of course you can shape them however you want. And this is a very basic bread recipe. It can be adapted in any number of ways. You can even make filled baguette. I've done it before. Alright? So, let us know how your baguette turns out, okay?